whatever you know. Oh, yeah. You wreck me, baby. Yeah, you break me in two. But you move me, honey. Yes, you do. You wreck me, baby. Yeah, you break me in two. Oh, but you move me, honey. Ah, yes, you do.
Good morning. This is the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. My name is Dave Burney.
I'm Brent Apperson. Good morning.
It is good to have you along. I'm so excited today. Special day. Every day is special whenever you wake up in the morning and realize you get to live another day. But this is even more special than usual. Yes, it's World Poetry Day today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's a day where you try to put poems together throughout the day today. So be thinking out there when you speak to one another, speak in poetry if you can. You have anything you can shoot out right away?
Nothing comes to my mind at this time. That was awful. I don't.
That's pretty good, actually. It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
It's hard to just rhyme under pressure.
Yes, and it needs to flow naturally.
Yeah.
But it is World Poetry Day today, so it's a very big day. So if you can, speak poetically today.
Yes? Everything okay?
I lost my pen. I feel like an old hen.
Uh-oh.
I have to use the purple one, and it's no fun.
Ah.
Ansley today, they're having tuna, noodles, and dinner roll today.
All right. Some other lunch menus we have. Gothenburg today, made fresh cheeseburger macaroni skillet with garlic breadstick, chicken cordon bleu sandwich, made fresh cheesy pizza, and a fresh baked ham and cheese sub at Gothenburg.
This purple pen won't write. I feel like I want to fight.
Oh, my.
I'm going to throw it against the wall and have a ball. Oh, wait, there's another one in my pocket.
Man, you did throw... You put a hole in the wall throwing that pen. Look at that. Look at all those marks. Have you been throwing pins at the wall for many years?
Usually when I have a temper tantrum, I come into this room.
Yeah?
I shut off the lights so I feel right. Ansley today, did I say they're having tuna, noodles, and dinner? Yeah, well, I did. I just didn't cross it off because my pen wouldn't write, so I felt like having a fight.
Oh, boy.
Let's get tight. Sergeant today, cheeseburger, chips, baked beans, fruit cup, and milk.
Cozad today, honey baked glazed tender sandwich with baby carrots, Taco Joe on a bun with seasoned fries, and pizza bar at Cozad.
If you feel like my poetry is a bit tough, that's just rough. Got that turned around. I was going to do it the other way around. It's going to be, if you feel like my poetry is rough, it's going to be tough. It didn't work that time. And Selma Myrna Public Schools today, they're having baked fish, cheese sandwich, Pizza Hut pizza, Uncrustable cheese and cracker platter.
Arnold today, serving pizza at Arnold School.
I believe there's going to be a lot of clatter about that Uncrustable platter.
Wow, you're on a roll. Whew. Is it my turn?
I think so.
Okay. Callaway School, tuna noodle casserole at Callaway.
And this is the Prairie Pioneer menu. Potato soup, chicken salad sandwich, cottage cheese, and fruit.
All right, I've got some more school.
None of that will make you. Never mind.
Oh. All right, some more school lunch menus. Made fresh cheeseburger macaroni. This is Broken Bow. Made fresh cheeseburger macaroni skillet with garlic breadstick, baked fish and cheese sandwich, fresh baked zesty combo sub, and the grill station combo at Broken Bow today is a cheeseburger basket. Some other menus. Litchfield today, fish on the lunch menu today. That's at Litchfield. Sandhills today, macaroni and cheese with ham. Loop City today, grilled cheese sandwich or chicken cordon bleu sandwich at Loop City. And those are your school lunch menus.
It would be a shame if we didn't play the game.
Yes, it would. Be even more of a shame if I couldn't find the sheet to the game. There it is. Are you ready to play now?
Yes, brother.
Okay.
Or we could do something other.
We could. Here's your question for today. It's Humorists Are Artists Month. So we've been asking you questions this week about some of the funniest men and women in show business. Here's your question for today. What lady was considered the queen of comedy and could be funny, mean, or terrifying, all in her New York accent? I think when I give you the choices, that'll help you. Your choices are Margaret Cho, Moms Mabley, Gilda Radner, or Joan Rivers. What lady was at one time considered the queen of comedy and could be funny, mean, or terrifying, all in her New York accent? Your choices again, Margaret Cho, Moms Mabley, Gilda Radner, or Joan Rivers. If you know, call us at 872-2801.
You're listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show with Dave and Brent.
Spring has arrived at Lily Kate Boutique in Broken Bow. Step into the season with a stunning selection of stylish outfits, perfect for all your spring activities. Whether you're headed to a wedding, spring program, graduation, or needing a new Easter outfit, they've got you covered. Plus, if you're craving a sun-kissed glow without the wait, try their Versa Spa tanning booth for the perfect tan anytime. Visit them on the north side of the square and make Lily Kate Boutique your go-to for spring style and radiance.
Are you worried about fraud? Join Bruning Bank for an informative lunch and learn on fraud and fraud prevention. In just 1 hour, you'll learn about the latest scams, how to protect your personal information, and keep your finances safe. This free event is your chance to ask questions and get expert advice from Ryan Southan from the Nebraska Attorney General's Office and Bruning Bank staff. The public is welcome to join us at the VFW in Broken Bow on Tuesday, March 25th from 11:45 a.m. to 1 p.m. Call Bruning Bank at 872-2757 to reserve your spot and free Subway lunch today. Bruning Bank, member FDIC.
And we have Catherine on the line. Good morning, Catherine.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Oh, I'm pretty good. I'm a little tired. I was on the road all day yesterday.
You were traveling.
Yes.
Well, it's all right,
Doctor's
Catherine.
appointments.
Oh, doctors, yeah.
Yeah.
Seems like we do more of that than we plan on, don't we?
Yeah. We always have to do it. Seems like.
Well, it is World Poetry Day today, Catherine, and I hope you've liked my poetry so far. I'm feeling very confident about it. I thought of one for you. I don't know if this is going to work or not, but I don't mean to be picking, but I know you like your chicken.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty good.
Oh, thank you so much. Here's Brent.
Okay.
Okay, Catherine, what lady was considered the queen of comedy and could be funny, mean, or terrifying, all in her New York accent. Is that Margaret Cho, Moms Mabley, Gilda Radner, or Joan Rivers?
Joan Rivers, I believe.
Yes, you got it. It's Joan Rivers, of course. And because you answered correctly, we have a card here that's going to get you a free drink at the Secret Garden in Broken Bow.
Good.
So come on out and see us.
Okay, put either my name or Julie Camp on it. One of us will pick it up.
All right. We'll have it ready for either one of you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Catherine.
Bye.
Bye.
And we do want to say thanks to the Secret Garden for helping us with the game today. You know, Kelly loves to go out and about during the spring and summertime, especially with Secret Gardens. So if you have a summer festival or an event coming up that you would like to have Secret Garden attend so that people can enjoy their yummy drinks, give Kelly a call with the Secret Garden just outside Myrna.
Thank you, Brent. You're swell. Oh, gosh, I don't want to say that.
Oh, yeah, be careful.
Working with you has been...
Oh, boy, here we go.
Never mind that.
I don't believe it. Don't touch me. Hey, Ray. Hey, Sugar. Tell them who we are.
Well, we're big rock singers. We got golden fingers. And we're
Smiling man. Oh.
Dr. Hook, the cover of the Rolling Stone. Good to have you along here on this Poetry Day, World Poetry Day. Very special day.
Yes.
Also, some birthdays to celebrate. If you're celebrating a birthday today, you are celebrating with Matthew Broderick. Can't believe Matthew's 63, and I can't believe that Brent Apperson has never seen Ferris Bueller's Day, which was a big 80s film. And he's also a big star in Broadway plays, and it goes back to that once in a while. He got his start there, and he's been in Inspector Gadget and The Cable Guy. Recently played himself in season 3 of only murders in the building, and that was quite funny, too. He did a great job with that. He is 63 today. Rosie O'Donnell is 63 as well, TV host, her own talk show, acting in League of Their Own, Sleepless in Seattle for just a few. Scott Eastwood is 39 today, the longest ride actor and son of the legend Clint Eastwood, and he's also played in a number of other acts in plays and movies as well. And let's see here, Russell Thompson Jr. is 74 today, singer, soul singer with distinctive voice, lead vocals in the group The Stylistics, who had several R&B ballads back in the 1970s. So if you're celebrating a birthday today, enjoy. Have a great day. There's a lot of things coming up in the near future that we need to cover today. This is Friday, so we do want to remind you that they will be having the ribbon cutting and re-grand opening today. We visited with Aaron yesterday about that. You're invited. They're going to cut the ribbon right at 4 o'clock or thereabouts, and they're going to be having some, snacks and drinks and different things afterwards for you to socialize and take a look at how they fix things up, change things up a little bit. Former Pearson Physical Therapy, now with the new name Rise Rehab and Performance. And Andrew Mason and Aaron Nelson, now the proud partners of that establishment. So that's going to be very, very fun today. That's this afternoon. Also, fish fry will catch your eye in Callaway.
It's no lie.
Thank you, Brent. I can't think of anything to rhyme with Brent. Stent? No, that's not good. Hey, fish fry in Callaway. Columbus, Knights of Columbus Fish Fry starts at 5:30 at the community center today, and it'll run until about 7 o'clock or until they run out of fish, and sometimes they do. So get there and get in line and get your fish. It's going to be delicious. Next week it's going to be at the Anselmo Fire Hall, and tomorrow at the Anselmo Fire Hall there'll be the annual pancake supper on Saturday from 6 until 8 p.m. That is a free will donation. Now, we did hear from the folks at Bruning Bank. You just heard about the gathering they're having at the VFW building on Tuesday. Give them a call because they are really full. People have really reacted to this offer to hear about how they can prevent fraud, and the response has been phenomenal. So give the bank a call and see if there's room for you, because that's coming up on Tuesday, as you just heard. Now, I got to tell you, you look terrible.
Oh, thanks.
If this is just the beginning of March Madness, and you just look terrible. If you're going to stay up all night and watch basketball, you're just going to have to quit it. Oh. It's going to ruin your health.
Okay.
You're going to kill yourself watching March Madness. That would be so sad.
That would be awful. I don't know. Maybe not so bad.
You look tired, man. You stay up all night watching this basketball. You can see the recap.
I can. Yes.
And you missed a very important show last night.
What show was? Oh, yes. How important? Did I lose money?
You owe me $1.
Oh, man.
50 cents.
Rats.
50 times 2.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do I have $1? I'll just pay up right now. Darn it. All right. There you go.
Thank you.
We're even.
Yeah, I'll tell you the whole story later. I think we missed it earlier. That actually happened earlier, and then it happened in the series again last night.
Oh.
But at least you owe me, at the very least, 50 cents.
Okay.
But that's what you get for watching March Madness instead of Reacher. Here's the Grassroots. Well,
So,
I don't want to take the money until we're sure that you owe me 50 cents or a buck. You owe me
Oh.
50 cents for sure,
for sure. Okay.
and maybe a whole dollar.
Okay. All right.
Did you hear
A
what
lot of people have no idea what you and I are talking about right now.
It was a bet,
Yeah, it was.
and you kind of
And I lost.
Yes.
Apparently.
you did. That was a sure thing.
Yeah.
Nebraska land hearing is a sure thing, too, because if you're having a bit of trouble in groups, or maybe you're going to the movies and you're just not hearing things like you think you should with those wonderful speakers and so forth, and you're missing out, well, Roxanne can help you. She's a board-certified hearing instrument specialist with over 35 years of experience right here in Custer County, right here in Broken Bow. And she'll give you a free hearing test, an evaluation, and then if you do need hearing assistance, she has lots of great options for hearing aids, all price levels, all technologies, all the way up to the very tip-top technology that you can buy. Fit your budget, and she gives you that free hearing evaluation and free office calls after you make the purchase of those hearing aids. That is key, folks, because I know, you see it all the time on TV, and maybe you made the mistake of looking at hearing aids on the internet, and now every time you open up the page on your computer, there's hearing aids for sale. That's the way that works. The downside of that is if they don't fit properly, you're unhappy with them, or maybe you wear them a while, you no longer can return them, that's it. You'll quit using them and you'll be right back to where you started. Won't happen that way with Roxanne because you can go in for adjustments and maybe reevaluate the type of hearing aids you are using. There's all sorts of things that she can do and ready to do for you. No reason to buy on the internet, no reason to travel anywhere else but right here in Custer County to have your hearing checked. Roxanne will take care of that. Her number is 308-384-3852. Set up an appointment at that number. The clinic is actually located in the Broken Bow Chamber Building. She's not always there, so I think the way to do it is give her a call at 308-384-3852. And you can drop by at the Chamber Building. She's there quite a bit. But as I said, if she isn't, the gals there will help you get to her and make that appointment. Just call that number, 308-384-3852.
Dave mentioned this quickly a little bit earlier in the show, but you are encouraged to come join the local Anselmo firefighters for a delicious pancake and sausage supper hosted by the Anselmo Volunteer Fire Department. It is coming up tomorrow at 6 p.m., serving at the Anselmo Fire Hall. Come enjoy a hearty supper while supporting the dedicated firefighters who work tirelessly to protect our community and respond to fires in our area and beyond. Your generous free will donations will make a real difference, so come out and enjoy great food. Show your appreciation for those who serve and protect us. They hope to see you there. That'll be tomorrow. They'll start serving at 6 p.m. in Anselmo.
I just got a glimpse of Christy walking through, going to Studio One there. She has a big butterfly on her sweater.
Oh.
That means she's going to be very soft and gentle today.
Oh, nice.
Something to look forward to.
You should play butterfly songs today.
Are there such a thing?
Well, you've got Dog and Butterfly by Heart.
Yeah.
Love is a Butterfly by Dolly Parton.
Okay. Well,
those are the only two that come to my mind, I guess.
Well, I'm going to stick with a different theme. This one's called Old Man. Young Old Man on the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. We'll be right back.
The Get Up and Go Breakfast Show.
It's the best start to my day.
It's time to start welcoming the spring season with open arms. At the Secret Garden, they want to help by offering 15% off any item that has the color green. To really get in the spring mood, this sale includes pre-orders of spring plants. Order now, save 15%, and then pick up and plant them later. The sympathy section is stocked for your browsing, and don't forget you can shop online too. The Secret Garden, just west of Myrna on Highway 92. Turn north when you see their sign.
Are your aches and pains preventing you from doing the things you love? Call Team Physical Therapy 872-5111. We offer complete one-on-one physical therapy for you. Call Team Physical Therapy 872-5111. Team Physical Therapy is known as the best hands in town and will help you achieve your goals to keep you moving. Call Team Physical Therapy at 872-5111 or check us out on the web at myteampt.com.
Thank you, Mary. It is news time. We'll check in on news. We'll also have some weather for you. It's all coming up here on KCNI, KBBN Radio.
You are listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Go, go, go! On KCNI, KBBN, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
CBS News Brief. Heathrow Airport in London is shut down after a fire at a nearby substation. CBS's Ian Lee reports.
Airlines have canceled around 500 flights to and from the U.S. Officials are now looking into the cause of the fire, and they hope they can get flights back off the ground as early as tomorrow.
Our Chris Van Cleve tells us the Southwest Airlines plane made a big mistake trying to take off from Florida.
This sounds like it amounts to a bit of a wrong turn. Southwest says one of its flight crews mistook a taxiway for a runway yesterday morning at Orlando's airport.
President Trump wants the Education Department gone. He signed an executive order calling for its dismantling, but says he will protect certain core functions.
Pell Grants, Title I funding, resources for children with disabilities and special needs will be preserved, fully preserved.
It still needs congressional approval. CBS News Brief. I'm Stacey Lynn.
Are you looking for an easy way to get a daily detox? Pharmacist, best-selling author, and nutrition expert Sherry Torkos explains why Active Liver is the perfect solution.
The liver is an incredible organ. It works nonstop to process toxins and chemicals from our food and drinks, medications we take, and even environmental exposures. As a health expert, I'm often asked how to support the liver's natural detoxification process and offset the effects of fatty foods, sugar, and alcohol. I recommend Active Liver by New Nordic. This gentle plant-based supplement is an effective way to support your liver's vital functions as well as your energy and overall well-being.
With its powerful blend of turmeric, milk thistle, and globe artichoke extract, Active Liver is the perfect way to get an easy daily detox to keep you healthy and feeling your best. Active Liver is available in both a delicious gummy or tablet. You can find Active Liver in the vitamin aisle at your local CVS or online at Amazon or newnordicusa.com.
Here's a look at Nebraska news. In a story released by KOLN, multiple vehicles crashed at the intersection of 27th and Vine Streets Thursday morning. Crews were called to the intersection just after 10 a.m. 4 vehicles were involved in the crash, with 2 appearing to collide near a pole. According to the Lincoln Fire and Rescue, multiple people were transported to the hospital with minor injuries, including an infant. The cause of the crash remains under investigation, but authorities think a stoplight covered in snow may have contributed to the collision. Across Lincoln, many stoplights facing north and south were covered in snow during Wednesday's blizzard. The high temperature for Lincoln on Thursday was forecasted to be 43 degrees. This has been a Nebraska News Update. I'm Jack Simpson reporting for Central Nebraska's News Source.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Monsi Bolaños.
In the men's NCAA tournament, 11 seed Drake is headed to the second round for the first time since 1971 after defeating 6 seed Missouri 67-57. 10 seed Arkansas survived 79-72 against 7 seed Kansas. The Razorbacks are going to face 2 seed St. John's next, who won 83-53 against 15 seed Omaha. This is the Red Storm's first tournament win in 25 years. In the NBA, the Warriors topped the Raptors 117-114, but Steph Curry took a hard fall fall late in the third quarter and was ruled out with a pelvic contusion. The Bulls topped the Kings 128-116. DeMar DeRozan reached 25,000 career points in the loss. And on the ice, the Capitals edged the Flyers 3-2. Alex Ovechkin scored goal 888 and is now 7 goals away from breaking Wayne Gretzky's all-time goals record. And the Lightning edged the Stars 3-2 in a shootout.
Here's your weatherology forecast. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. A fire weather watch begins at 1 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. A red flag warning begins at 1 p.m. this afternoon. Sunny skies today with daytime highs approaching 58. Northwesterly winds 20 to 25 miles per hour. Lows dip down to about 28. Tonight, mainly clear skies. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki.
They grow up so fast, and soon enough they're off to college. But as time goes by, the cost of tuition continues to rise. You know that college is important, but the expenses may seem out of reach. Edward Jones can help. I'm Edward Jones financial advisor Tim McCaslin.
And I'm Edward Jones financial advisor Janet Lawhorn. Let's work together to help you tackle growing college expenses. Call us at 308-872-6849 or visit edwardjones.com to schedule an appointment. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
It's 8:06. Let's go outside and see what it really feels like with Jack Simpson. Jack?
Well, good morning. It's 38 degrees outside. I would call it mostly cloudy. There's more clouds in front of the station than it is off towards the Callaway Way. It's pretty clear off that way. Winds out of the west from 5 to 10 miles per hour. Barometric pressure at 2980 with humidity at 59%. No rain or snow in the last 24 hours, and the precipitation for this month will stay 47 hundredths. High yesterday of 62, overnight low of 41. Sunrise today 7:39 and sunset today 7:52.
All right, no wind?
Just a little bit right now, up to 5 out of the west, I'd say. Anywhere from 5 to 10.
Any animals out there?
I saw a bird fly by just a little bit ago.
How's the traffic?
Pretty good. I don't know really. There's a couple cars coming off the Callaway Road and a couple coming from the Myrna Road.
Okay, so you can see some cars.
Yep.
Any allergies? You feel any allergies moving in on your eyeballs?
No.
Well, you're one of a few.
I was going to say, I feel that, and I'm sitting inside the studio.
The main thing I've had is just a couple sneezes here and there, but nothing bad.
Yeah. You got somebody out there with you?
I do, Mr. Seth Thramer.
Seth?
Seth says, Dave says hello. Do you want me to give the headset to Mr. Seth Thramer?
No, that's fine. Just hello, Seth.
He says hello.
Yep.
Okay.
Hello, yep. Is there an owl out there? Is the owl hooting?
I saw it this morning, but I don't hear him right now, no.
Okay, all right. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
That's what's going on. That's what it really feels like, and in some cases looks like out there. There's some cars going up and down the road.
Yeah.
Usually the highway's pretty busy. It is amazing sometimes that sometimes it's much busier than others, certain times of the day. Now, you may have heard, and that's been posted, that was a press release from the Department of Transportation. It's been coming for a few years now, being talked about, planned on. And we've all been kind of complaining. I would imagine we can say, I shouldn't say all, maybe some of you out there haven't been complaining about the roughness of the road through town, through Broken Bow. It's getting pretty rough. A lot of traffic on the road, and that is going to be resurfaced and repaired starting very, very soon, I think on as early as Monday. And so it's going to be a little bit congested this summer, and we're going to have to be patient and respect one another and definitely respect the people out there working on the machinery or standing and running flags and so forth. We want to keep everybody safe and be very, very careful, because this is going to be all summer long, all the way till maybe September. And eventually they're going to be out where we're at, redoing this stretch as well. So there's a lot of work to be done. I think they're going to change some things out there by the fairgrounds, the way traffic flows there. So it's going to be a major deal. So we're going to have to be very patient.
Will it affect being able to get in and out of the radio station? Do you know?
We were told it could for 2 or 3 days.
Okay.
We've got to figure out a way to get in here.
We could work from home.
We'll figure out a way to get in here.
I'll be honest. We many of us I know did that during COVID several years ago. I'd rather come to work.
I would too.
Yeah,
I would too. I just wanted to debunk a. It's the internet again, or it's TikTok.
Uh-oh. What's wrong with TikTok?
Well, sparkling water will not rot your teeth. Let's just make that clear. Don't believe what they tell you on TikTok. Sparkling water is not rotting your teeth. Some hygienists have been posting videos warning that carbonated water will turn your molars into mush. But dentists say while bubbles made by the CO2 can turn into a bit of acid in your mouth, it is way less acid than orange juice, for instance.
Oh.
Now, yes, if you drink orange juice all day, or you drink, the water, Pierre, all day, then yes, you have a chance of rotting your teeth. But
yeah, but how does that compare to a Coke?
Good question. I don't know. But anyway, yes, sparkling water does not rot your teeth.
Okay.
Just so you know, they say in
Thank
some
you.
cases on TikTok it does.
I see.
In other words, you cannot believe everything you read on TikTok.
You can't?
I guess. I don't read it.
Oh.
It's not something I'm going to spend my life watching.
I've never been on TikTok.
They'll try to lure you in sometimes if you do use Facebook. And once in a while, I like to watch a lot of music clips that come down on Facebook. If I use Facebook, it's to listen to music mostly. And they'll try to lure you over to TikTok. You've got to be careful what you're clicking on there.
Yeah.
Because then you'll end up, they'll be wanting to sign you up.
Yep.
No, that's not X, is it? That's different.
Yeah, TikTok is separate from X. Yeah.
X is Elon Musk.
Yeah.
He owns that.
Right, yeah.
So
used to be Twitter.
Yeah, it used to be Twitter. Elon has a little power on the communication side there. I don't know how many of the Tesla cars that are being burned up he's reporting on right now. But we'll have to see how that pans out. So let me see if I can make this work here. I like to play music that other stations don't play. So I'm going to work on that right now. I'm going to take the mouse away from you.
Okay.
But I'm going to give it back to you then.
Yes.
Because I got to go across to this other screen and get this started. This is Johnny Blue Skies, Sturgill Simpson with I Don't Mind. This is live in
Now,
Austin.
this is the same guy, right?
Same
Johnny
guy.
Blue Skies and Sturgill Simpson are the same guy.
Yep.
All right.
You can have your mouse back.
Oh, thanks.
And that's one is called I Don't Mind. I believe that was live in Austin, Texas. Good to have you along. We have a guest in the studio. I'm going to let my good friend, my brother and son all in one, my co-host and neighbor, introduce our next guest.
Hi, Casey.
Hi, Brent.
Casey Johnson, Mid-Plains Community College, with us on a Friday. I visited yesterday with Mr. Purdy and others.
Yes.
They always call every month and recap their board meeting that they had.
Yep.
And he spent a lot of time talking about this CDL class.
Yes.
And the simulator that has gone out to different places, and the way this class has really taken off for Mid-Plains Community College. And I know that it's been right here in Broken Bow, and you've seen it as well.
Yeah, we had the simulator here, that was probably a couple months ago now, back in January. Wow, that thing is cool. I am impressed every time I watch someone drive on it. It is very realistic. And, it feels like you're in a semi-truck. You are sitting there and the seat's rumbling and, you might as well get yourself a handle by the time you're out of the truck because you are ready to go. The guys, the instructors for the class love the simulator because it saves them a lot of wear and tear on their transmissions of their trucks and tires and things like that.
Probably on their nerves a little bit too, doesn't it?
Yeah. So they really enjoy it. We had, so when we go to schedule CDL, it's a bit of a challenge to.
Sure.
We've kind of gone back and forth with this on scheduling in Broken Bow. We've had one here, and it worked out great. And then we were getting another one scheduled, and there was a brief window of time, but there's a lot of moving parts that all have to come together there. And so we kind of lost our window by the time students committed and things like that. So we're on the hunt for the next available time slot, but it will come back to Broken Bow. We will have the class again soon. But if you can't wait for that, you can always travel over to North Platte. There is some classroom time that you start with, kind of depending on your background, tells us how much time you spend in the classroom learning. And then the rest of it is all real practice and driving. And we can do that here in Broken Bow. So if you are interested in CDL, just give us a call and we'll contact or connect you with the right people that can get you in that course. So
good.
It's a good one.
Kind of coming toward the end of the spring semester. It's hard to believe. Man, we're midway through, midway through March now.
We're on the downhill side.
Yeah.
Yep.
Summer classes. Time to start signing up for those?
Sure is.
Okay.
So this week is actually spring break for Mid-Plains.
Right.
So it's always, people always say, oh, you get a week off. No, we don't. We don't. Students get a week off, but we do not. And it's actually a very busy week because it starts our summer and fall enrollment period. And so students are able to now register. Most of them come into the college and meet with an advisor, either myself or someone in North Platte. But a lot of students they're pretty practiced by now. They know what they need to take. And a lot of times when they come in and meet with an advisor, we work out a plan for here's what you're going to take this semester, here's what you take the next semester, all the way through. And so students are pretty good about they can go online and register themselves. So if you are a current student and you know what you need to take, you can go online and register yourself. But I'm always available, and our advisors are always available for appointment times to be able to come in and make that plan and just double check, we're on the right track. So, and then we're going to be preparing for commencement coming up in May. It goes so fast every year, but commencement is always hands down my favorite day of the year because there's always a few Custer County graduates that I get to watch. Sometimes I get surprised too. So most of them I know who's graduating, but sometimes somebody will pop up that I didn't know they were graduating that semester, and it's just a lot of fun to stand and cheer and celebrate their accomplishments. It's a big deal. And I always encourage all students to walk through the ceremony. Not everybody wants to do that, but, take the day. You will not regret, 20 years from now, you will be able to tell your kids about walking across the stage and Mr. Purdy handing you that diploma or that certificate or that degree. You won't regret that. But you might regret not walking. So I always try to encourage everyone to do so. It is a bit of time commitment to travel over to North Platte to do that, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
So.
And I think when it comes to high school graduations, you attend a lot of those and recognize some of the high school students that have participated and are kind of getting a head start on some of their college credit, correct?
I do.
Yeah.
Also, some of my favorite days of the year. I have a lot of favorites, but yes, I attend mostly our honors programs for different schools. And boy, let me tell you, some of our schools get really creative on when they have their honors programs. So the typical, event might be a Tuesday night at 7:00. Everybody goes down to the community building or the municipal building or whatever's in the town and maybe the high school gymnasium and celebrates their students. But a lot of schools have to be, there's not a lot of time in the spring, not a lot of free nights and evenings. So some schools have, for example, Callaway has their honors program at about 9 or 10 in the morning. And I just think that is so interesting. I hear that sometimes it's hard for parents to get off of work, and I understand that. But it also kind of opens up that time for others that might not be able to attend. And it's just always kind of fun. Sand Hills High School is another one that they're very creative when they hold those ceremonies. So we really appreciate that because it gives me the opportunity to make the time to get there. Sometimes you have multiple schools on the same night. So I go one way and Pam goes another way, and we have a lot of fun handing out those cords. Now, our honors cords are given to students who have earned 12 or more credit hours throughout their time taking college classes before they graduate. And then they get to wear that honors cord at graduation. So it's always fun.
Yeah. So other things that are going on, other classes, maybe some of the non-traditional stuff that you're working on?
Yeah. So when we get our 4 credit classes rolling and everything's, kind of trucking down the track like it's supposed to be, then we turn our attention to our business and community education classes. And those are the fun stuff. Last week we had an acrylic pouring class. You heard me talk about that several times. Man, I wasn't here for that, so I didn't get to join in, but I heard it was messy and fun is what I heard. So we try to do a lot of different art classes like that. We're blessed with a really nice art instructor that comes up from down in the Eustis area. Tomorrow, in fact, is our rescheduled scuba class.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Talked about that earlier.
The weather's going to be nice out at Melham.
Oh, yeah.
Yikes.
Is that where you're going to practice? Oh,
No.
I'm going to go out and watch that.
No, we're not going to make people go get in the pond. Although, maybe they would want to afterwards. No, we have a very nice, very temperature-controlled pool that the scuba class will be held in. And I can take registrations for that up through noon today. So if you're going, I don't have anything to do tomorrow, I'm going to crack open the old bathing suit and just learn a little bit about scuba diving. I mean, when else could you say that you learned how to scuba in Broken Bow, Nebraska?
Be tough.
Yeah. So that's going to be a fun one, and really inexpensive as well. That will be tomorrow. There's a little bit of classroom time, and then you're jumping in. You're getting in the pool.
Wow.
I know. So scuba is going to be fun. Now, it was originally scheduled for last weekend, but we moved it to this weekend due to some scheduling with the instructors. So that's going to be a fun one. And then I also want to remind our patrons that our postcard has came out. We always know when the postcard hits the mailboxes because we get a lot of calls on that day.
That's good.
It really is. People will come in and they bring their postcard with them. But take a look at that postcard. If you misplaced it or maybe didn't get delivered to you, just let us know. We can send you another one or send you a printed list of those classes. One that's coming up here in April, I believe it's April 23rd, is our chicken scratch class.
Chicken scratch class.
Now,
Is that how to write chicken scratch?
Nope.
You know what I'm talking about.
I do.
Okay.
Is it about raising chickens?
You know, the price of eggs.
Oh, yeah.
We don't need to hash that out. Everybody knows that, eggs have been skyrocketing here lately. And so you hear a lot of people say, well, I'm just going to run down to Tractor Supply and buy me a couple chickens and raise some chickens in my backyard. Well, there's a lot more to it than just bringing home a couple of chickens and hoping for the best. And so our chicken scratch class is going to teach you what is involved in, before you go out and buy chickens, what kind of supplies are you going to need? Where are these chickens going to live? What kind of coop do you need? How many chickens should you have? When can you expect them to start producing eggs? Because it doesn't just happen.
Yeah, it takes a while.
Yeah, what should you feed them? How should you take care of them? There's a lot of things that go in, a lot of decisions that go into that. What if you're going to take a week's vacation? Who's going to babysit your chickens? Somebody has to. So our chicken scratch class is all designed to talk about those things and what you're getting into if you run down to Tractor Supply and buy some chickens.
on just a spur of the moment decision.
Yeah. I mean, they're cute.
Oh, they are when they're little. Yeah.
Yeah, and the kids always like to go, Mom, can I get a chicken? Please don't.
Yeah.
Don't make that decision rashly. Come and take our class. So.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Brent.
Thank you, Dave.
You did great, Brent.
Yeah.
Thanks, Casey.
Excellent interview. Excellent interview. We'll take a quick timeout.
Make us part of your morning routine.
Just really great music, and you guys are fun and active and lively and just a good station.
Central Nebraska wakes up with Dave and Brent on The Breakfast Show.
Love is in the air, but so are romance scams, where scammers online pretend to be your perfect match. Then they gain your trust and ask for money. They might claim to need help with an emergency, travel costs, or even investments. But the truth is, they are after your wallet, not your heart. Never send money or financial details to someone you haven't met in person. If in doubt, talk to your bank. Don't let a scam break your heart and your bank account. Stay smart, stay safe. This message brought to you by Nebraska State Bank and Trust Company. Member FDIC.
Moline Seed and Fence was founded by the Moline family in 2014 southwest of Callaway with a simple concept: to serve farmers and ranchers by providing quality fencing and livestock supplies. They continue to meet the demands of all livestock producers, providing watering and fencing products of all kinds, from barbed wire to hedge posts, creosote post pipes and panels. Give Moline Seed and Fence a call and have their team help you lay out your next project. Call 308-529-0781 or visit them on their web at molineseedandfence.com.
The Chocolate Chip Cookie Challenge has begun. Do you have a recipe you love? Maybe you know of someone who should enter. Either way, we're accepting entries through 5 p.m. the 21st. Just drop off 6 traditional homemade chocolate chip cookies for us to judge. The winner gets a KitchenAid Artisan Tilt Head Mixer and is crowned the Chocolate Chip Cookie Connoisseur. Read more on sandhillsexpress.com. We'll see you soon with cookies in hand.
Yesterday, I believe the count was, at the end of the day, we had received 47 plates of chocolate chip cookies so far at the end of the day yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And Rick Nelson is here from Custer Public Power. He will remember our deviled egg contest.
Yep.
And we're not to that point, Rick, because chocolate chip cookies are good all the time. Deviled eggs, if you eat too many of them, can backfire on you.
And make you green.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
When we had one employee that was sick for 2 or 3 days after our deviled egg contest.
Not my fault.
It was not. Yours were very good. Bob, that was his fault. Bob Bowles got a little carried away with the extra ingredients.
Yeah.
I think he soaked his in kerosene.
It tasted like
gross.
it. So
I still have the taste in my mouth, just you bringing it up.
Yes.
Ugh.
This is the last day for our entries for the chocolate chip cookie contest. We believe we'll probably break 50 plates for sure today, total. And then on Tuesday of next week, we'll be announcing our 2 winners. So you can still get your chips and your dough together and bring in some cookies if you like, Rick.
I'm pretty sure that none of those will probably have wasabi in them.
No, let's hope not. Oh gosh.
Yeah, I still can't smell wasabi after I made those.
Those were good. Bob Bowles has had this problem of once he started putting additives in or spices or hot whatever, he couldn't quit. And it did kind of turn some of us green, as you said.
Yeah.
Speaking of green, you have a newsletter out just on irrigation, which turned things green.
Yeah.
Is this a special edition that you have here?
Yeah. So that would hit the mailboxes this week, I think. Lots of good stuff in there. There is, talk about rebates. Spend a little time talking about rates, how we kind of figure that, and what goes into that. We also talked quite a bit about capacitors and what irrigation wells and what that looks like if you don't have a capacitor, and what the costs are from our standpoint if you don't have a capacitor, and different levels of not really. I'm trying to think of the term.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
For us,
that'll give me time to think.
Yeah, that way. Because I'm trying to think. For folks out there who don't follow or understand irrigation and electricity and all that sort of thing, can you define a capacitor for us?
So a capacitor makes it helps with the efficiency of the way the motor runs.
Okay.
So the more capacitance that's out there, the better the from a motor standpoint. It's just the better. It's better for the motor, and it's better for us to have a capacitor on there that's sized to the motor. We started adding into the bills, what that looks like and where they ended up. We are now charging on a demand instead of a horsepower. That's a little bit more realistic, and it matches the wholesale power, which then blends back to the previous article that talks about how we figure rates. Everything kind of is coming together, and it's apples and apples now from the generator in Sutherland through all the wires, through our wires, and to the meter and to the water. So
okay, I think a lot of people would be interested in PCA credit.
Well, so we've had a PCA now, 5-6 years. PCA is a power cost adjustment, and in this case, it's been to the betterment of all of our customers.
Mm-hmm.
There's a number on there that says the total of what we've given back to the irrigators.
Caught my eye.
Yeah.
The rate has, the last 3 years have totaled $1,450,254.80 returned in just irrigation credits.
Yep, that's just an irrigation. So it's kind of a big thing, and that's a direct. So let me think here. How does that relate? So that's not a reflection of Custer's rates, but it's a reflection of our wholesale power. And so from our wholesale power supplier, NPPD, they are giving back some of the margins that they made, and there was a kind of a little windfall back in 2021 when that cold spell came through from the Dakotas down to Texas. NPPD was able to go to the market and sell some generation that brought in some extra cash, and so that's what we're doling out, and that's, I think, a good thing.
That's what's coming
it's
back.
great for customers, great for the irrigators. So line loss and capacitance. So capacitance, it's kind of like a beer. You know, when you're a bad pourer of beer out of a can and you have the foam on the top.
Gosh, I don't remember, but yes.
Yeah. That didn't happen last night. No.
But you pour it in and you don't get it like slanted just right, and you create a foam that comes to the top.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So that's what we're trying to get rid of, and the capacitance kind of takes that away.
Well, that helps. Yeah.
And so it creates line loss, which is that foam on the top, and then so we're trying to reduce that. Makes the motor run better, makes us run better.
Okay. So
and saves us money, by the way.
Yes.
And which then we turn and give back to the customer.
Yeah. Okay. Then there's probably some guys and gals out there going, well, what are the rates compared? You know, we were talking increase in rates the last few times that we've talked here.
Yeah. Yeah. Very minimal, by the way.
Yeah, but not
compared
a lot.
to CPI, but
yeah. So they're already know now what their rates are going to be for this summer, and there are programs out there still where they have to shut off certain times and that sort of thing.
There are different control levels that they sign up for.
Okay.
So the first would be anytime control. There's a 3-day control, 2-day control. I think they have until April 1st to pick that.
Ooh.
So it's coming up. April and everybody in there has been getting a lot of phone calls to date for two reasons. One is on that specific topic, what kind of control do you want to go to? And the other is any name change that happens with a well. Stock wells are getting ready to go out. So if you have a stock well that has changed hands, now would be the time.
Please.
Might even be too late. So the more control that you give us, the lower that rate will be.
Okay.
And so but we do that because of the savings that we get. If the more times that we can pull you off of our peak, the lower that demand rate is, and the more that we can keep that rate lower.
Mm-hmm.
It is kind of significant between a full-time control and a 2-day control, and so you kind of need to pick those wisely. But
so what you're encouraging the producer out there, if they can stay off those peak times, and that will reward them with a little bit of a discount.
Oh, yeah.
And allow you to be consistent rather than having those high peaks.
Right. And, well, like we just said, it's the if we can control them off of our peak, then we're all saving money.
Okay.
And every dollar that they save is a dollar that we save, and every dollar we save we pass on to them. And so it's like with energy efficiency, it's all it's all relative and it's all pass through. And that's another part of the reason why we went to a demand instead of the horsepower, because then we can tell exactly what that is, and we're not doing a conversion ourselves and trying to get that all worked out. So it's going good.
It's going good. And you have on the front page of this newsletter the Energy Wise ag rebates.
Yep.
If you need any more information about that, they contact 872-2471 or go to the website.
Go to the website.
And get more information on that.
Yep.
Okay. Probably worth a look.
Oh, yeah.
I would imagine. And I don't know, this is a question maybe you can't answer today, but I know you mentioned before to us that the irrigation season, the irrigation process is a huge part of the electricity used through Custer Public Power.
Oh, yeah.
Is there a percentage on the top of your head that goes to irrigation?
Oh, boy.
And you don't have to answer that today if you don't have it in your head.
No, from a revenue standpoint, it's probably about half of the revenue.
Okay.
But from a load standpoint, our peak is about 130 megawatts, which is 130,000 kW. Right now, today, we're probably sitting at 20 or 25.
Wow.
So, not all of that's irrigation, but we get up to, there's probably, 100 or 100 megawatts that's, or a little less, that's that load. We have 150,000 horsepower of irrigation, and all that's under control, so that's a great thing. You may not, it may not sound like this from my voice, but I'm excited about what we've done and where we're at and how we're able to control those costs and push those off.
And control those peaks.
Because that's a lot of load.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, there's a business out there that would want to operate their assets at 25% of their potential. But on a yearly basis, that's about where we're at. So we're built for 140, 150 megawatts worth of load, yet 8 or 9 months out of the year, we're only at 20. So
yeah, if you think about that amount of use and demand, basically during the growing season, and that's pretty amazing.
But we're here to serve, and we take great pride in what we do, and we're pretty proud of where we're at from a cost perspective too. So only use 20% of your assets or 25%. And still keep rates as low as what we can. That's, I think, pretty fantastic.
Yeah, public owned.
Because we don't have any other load besides irrigation. We got a couple of feed mills, but we don't have whatever manufacturing or any other kind of load.
Yeah, we just don't have that much here that you serve.
Yeah.
You've got some notes there, and Brett and I was going to ask you a couple of questions that we had planned to ask you before you came in.
Oh boy, you got them lined up, huh?
Yeah.
So we've given out our scholarship for the year. Harper Johnson from Callaway.
Congratulations.
Was one of the recipients. The other is Coy Wardeen here in Broken Bow. Both are attending Northeast Community College, which is a hard lineman school to get into. You got to apply early, and both of them are in. So we're pretty excited. They're both moving along and getting in with the program, and I think they'll spend the summer even shadowing our guys and getting put a T-shirt on, get out there and do some work. So pretty excited about that.
Yeah, those names are kind of familiar too. That's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Irrigation newsletter. Of course, the big thing is, and I, we haven't heard a whole lot about this out here, but in the eastern part of the state, there's a lot of damage from this last storm that came through. I equate it to everybody who can remember what '94 looked like in April.
This was going to be our question.
Yeah. That is exactly what happened at Butler and Cornhusker and 6 or 8 districts in the eastern part of the state, and it was hard. It still is hard. So when did that come through? On Wednesday?
Yeah.
So as of yesterday afternoon, I know that one district still hadn't gotten a pickup to their eastern half of their system.
Wow.
Roads, they couldn't get around. They focused on one half and went to the other. They had 200 poles on half of it. And from the reports I hear, there'll be another 1,000 on the other side. And so it's that's about the best way I can describe it to our listeners. Is it's a 94 happened in the eastern part of the state.
It's funny you would bring that up that way, because we were going to ask you about that, because that's what we were called. The poles snapping off here and driving out and doing reports, and it was just awful to look at. And what you're thinking, wow, how long is this going to take to repair? And people, different groups came in from different areas to support the repair here, and that's certainly going on there. Brent was talking about his son-in-law being asked to go help from the city, I believe.
I think so.
And they ran into some different kind of trouble getting there, right?
Well, yeah. Of course, everybody got maybe chose to divert off the interstate since it was closed, and then got stuck on the highway.
Yep.
So these people from all across the state who were going to assist couldn't get to where they needed to go, because basically it was a traffic jam. Because cars were still trying to get out of the ditch, or they were stuck on the road yet. And I'm sure that even brought back some memories of the '94 situation, because I'm sure you guys dealt with that back then too. Just getting to where you needed to go.
Absolutely. And the after the '94 storm here, it warmed up, and then things got messy. And the same thing's going to happen over there in the next 2 or 3 days, because it'll be 60 degrees. It was in the 40s yesterday over there. By the way, we did send 10 guys there, 2 crews, to Butler. And so Butler's by David City. Cornhusker, which is up by Columbus, I thought was maybe going to get fixed up by the weekend. We're planning on our guys being there at least until next Wednesday for a week. We brought crews in from South Dakota. We wanted to bring some in from Iowa, but they kind of had the same thing right after we did. Not quite as damaging, but still quite a bit happened over there. So we're certainly brought in 20, 25 guys from South Dakota. I think they went over to Burt County, which is right along the Missouri River. Cumming County is kind of next to, from a public power district, kind of next to them. And so both of those are getting some help. And that line went past Lincoln, past York, Seward, Stromsburg, all the way down to Nelson.
Wow. And
so from Nelson to up to South Sioux City is kind of the line, and it was all 1994. That's the best way I can say it.
It's a perfect way, isn't it? These kinds of storms are so hard for. We have all this technology and the weather. I'm not knocking the weather forecasters whatsoever. Because these kind of storms, this time of year, it all depends. Everything happens pretty fast.
Yep.
And we were expecting 3 to 5 inches. That's what they were calling for here with low visibilities and the possibility of some of that happening. And, what we got just a covering of snow and some moisture making the road slick here. But it just seemed to accumulate all down that way.
It did.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Well, that wet snow accumulates. It's and it's heavier than ice.
Yes.
And it'll build up and
60-mile-an-hour winds don't help either, do they?
No. I've also heard, and you guys got a better forecasting than I do, but there was probably pretty close to 70, 75 in some of those locations.
Yeah.
And that's hard. So we designed for a half-inch ice and 70-mile-an-hour winds. That's the zone we're in. So that's what we designed to. I had a very wise individual tell me once that you can go out and spend $1 million a mile building a line, and in the right storm, it'll take maybe 20 more minutes to bring it down. And that's what happened over there. I can visually see in my mind a brand new 3-phase line that's got T2 conductor on it, runs north and south, and it is laying on the ground today.
Yeah, new. Pretty new.
Yeah.
You kind of expect that with the old, 1950s poles, but that's what Mother Nature can do. And I suppose as time goes along, you and others in this service industry you're in, to sit down and talk about, well, what do we have to build?
Yeah.
What is the weather going to be? What's the patterns going to be in 20 years from now? And it'd be really hard to plan for it because it's been so crazy.
Yeah. Well, you about got to plan for the median, and otherwise the customers today are paying for a line that you think will last a very long time, and then, like I said, the right storm comes along and it just lasts another 20 minutes because it's got that. But there's a fine line between what's too much and what's not enough, and so we try to thread that needle and hope for the best when storms like this come through. It's about timing. It's about snowfall. It's about wind. What do you do besides sit there and wait for it to be done?
Yeah, right.
This is probably not a very nice question because it's strictly dollars and cents question. But when you have to help, they helped us in '94. We're helping them here in 2025. You're going to different districts and supporting other departments. How does that all work financially?
Well, so we have mutual aid agreements that kind of dictate our cost. We changed a couple years ago from at least the statewide perspective. We have our own, if we're helping each other, then that's under one mutual aid agreement. If we go to help Fremont or some other Nebraska Power Association member, which all electric utilities in Nebraska belong to that.
Okay.
That's kind of another little way to handle it. But so we go on FEMA rates, and FEMA rates are so much for the truck, so much for the digger. There's ways to pay for the fuel and all that. The receiving system ends up paying for that. And then we're a little bit hopeful that FEMA will come back and after it's declared a disaster, will come back and help us pay for 75% of that.
That was a question. I think that disaster declaration is pretty important.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's pending. We needed to get through yesterday and maybe part of today before I send out an email to these managers that were affected and find out what their estimates are for damages and we need to get a threshold. I'm pretty sure I can name off 30 counties that will be declared. But until you actually get, at least an estimate, there's 1,000 poles and it's, $5 million or whatever it is. Until you get that estimate into their emergency management people, and then the emergency management people pass that along to NEMA, and then NEMA takes it to the governor if it meets the threshold. Then the governor pushes it up to the president, and the president will then declare a federal emergency, and then that's when FEMA comes into play. So
that's how it works. It's good to know. And right now, the folks that are there, just like the ones that were here in 1994,
Yep.
they really don't think about all of that. They just want their electricity back, right?
Oh, yeah. Yep. There's a lot of upset people in Omaha right now.
Are there?
Thank goodness we're rural. We have a different mindset.
Yeah.
And a lot of the statewide members across the state have the same exact customers we do, which are they understand we're out there beating our butts to get it done, and so is every other member of NREA, and they understand that.
Yeah.
And that warms my heart to think about that.
Yeah, that makes sense because people live out in, as they call it, outstate Nebraska.
Yeah.
They go outside a lot and they experience this weather themselves a little bit more than maybe they would in metro areas. So, yeah.
Yep.
All right, Rick, man.
What?
This went fast. There's anything else that you wanted to mention that we didn't talk about?
No, I think I made it through. Did we get to your questions?
Yeah, you were talking exactly about what we were going to ask you about. So,
Yeah.
But 1994.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Well, that's the best way to describe it because we everybody who's listening to this show right now,
remembering,
probably has some kind of reference to that. So
I think
that's the best way to describe it.
I think we were able to contact the FCC at that time because the way we were situated with our stations and ask if we could leave KCNI on at night, which we, at full power, and we were allotted that so that we could, because it was
communicate
because there's people out there in 94, as you know better than anybody, that didn't have power for quite some time.
I think, if I remember right, 16 days was the last one we brought on back in 94.
And you recall
But that's 5,000 poles on the ground.
5,000.
That's hundreds of linemen here. I forget the number now at that point, but 5,000 poles.
Big press conference at the National Guard Armory, I remember, and they had all people from everywhere to cover that. And that's what's going on to our friends to the east.
That's what's going on.
Thanks, Rick.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
You bet.
We'll take a time out. We'll catch up on some news after these messages.
The Polaris Ranger is set up with all the comforts to keep you rolling from sun up to sundown. Agland ATV stocks their Polaris lineup with the machines that best suits the needs of the farmers and ranchers of central Nebraska. Our shop crew takes pride in providing you with the best service to take on the tough jobs day in and day out. Check out the 2025 lineups as you tackle your spring projects with Agland ATV and Broken Bow. Always wear a helmet, never drink and ride.
Online at aglandatv.net. Agland ATV, Broken Bow.
You are listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Go, go, go! On KCNI, KBBN, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
CBS News Brief. Despite major flight delays and cancellations because Heathrow Airport in London is shut down, travelers are remaining positive.
I'll still get home tomorrow, hopefully. It'll just take me an extra day to get back to my wife and my daughter, and they're probably, wishing I would get home already.
A fire at a nearby substation caused a power outage and the closure. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth signed a memo to cancel over $580 million in DoD contracts.
They are not a good use of taxpayer dollars.
A judge is losing patience, waiting for the DOJ to supply more info about the Venezuelan migrant flights last weekend.
He was frustrated because the person who attested to these cabinet-level decisions about whether or not they're going to try to invoke the state secret privilege was someone from ICE, which he said was just not appropriate.
CBS's Katrina Kaufman says the deadline is in less than a half hour. CBS News Brief. I'm Stacey Lynn.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, they'll fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-783-8055. That's 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Monsi Bolaños.
In the men's NCAA tournament, 11 seed Drake is headed to the second round for the first time since 1971 after defeating 6 seed Missouri 67-57. 10 seed Arkansas survived 79-72 against 7 seed Kansas. The Razorbacks are going to face 2 seed St. John's next, who won 83-53 against 15 seed Omaha. This is the Red Storm's first tournament win in 25 years. In the NBA, the Warriors topped the Raptors 117-114, but Steph Curry took a hard fall late in the third quarter and was ruled out with a pelvic contusion. The Bulls topped the Kings 128-116. DeMar DeRozan reached 25,000 career points in the loss. And on the ice, the Capitals edged the Flyers 3-2. Alex Ovechkin scored goal 888 and is now 7 goals away from breaking Wayne Gretzky's all-time goals record. And the Lightning edged the Stars 3-2 in a shootout.
Here's your weatherology forecast. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. A fire weather watch begins at 1 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. A red flag warning begins at 1 p.m. this afternoon. Sunny skies today with daytime highs approaching 58. Northwesterly winds 20 to 25 miles per hour. Lows dip down to about 28. Tonight, mainly clear skies. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki.
Currently 40 under a mostly sunny sky. Still some cloud cover up there. Winds are beginning to pick up now out of the west at 5 to 15, and that is going to increase that fire danger as we go through the day, as you just heard. So please be very careful. Barometric pressure rising at 2983. We'll want to watch the humidity today as well. Right now it's at 60%. 4,700 precipitation for the month. We don't have to tell you how dry it is. And after the conversation moments ago with Rick Nelson with Custer Public Power, we're dry here worrying about fire danger, and the east portion of the state is putting themselves back together after a heavy snowstorm that they're probably mucking through mud in to get things fixed up. So it's Nebraska, but we can help out by helping one another. Be careful and safe out there. Brent, do you have anything at this time on the Breakfast Show on this Friday morning that you would like to bring towards and forward to our audience?
Here's a job opportunity for you. Nebraska Department of Transportation has an exceptional opportunity for a highway maintenance worker to join their team in Broken Bow. At the Nebraska Department of Transportation, they reward their employees' hard work with a friendly and supportive work environment that encourages creativity and innovation. They provide training, career development, advancement opportunities are available, supplying ample paid time off, work-life balance, and a comprehensive benefits package. To apply, you need to go to this website because an online state application must be completed. So go to statejobs.nebraska.gov. The state of Nebraska is an equal opportunity, veterans preference employer.
The Tumbleweed Cafe. What a place. Been there for many, many years serving the public. They serve daily specials Monday through Friday for lunch and the Sunday buffet as well. They offer the Wake and Bake Nook now every Monday through Friday until 6 p.m. And each Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. until 11 a.m., you'll find delicious breakfast items, including burritos and sandwiches, cinnamon rolls, biscuits and gravy, and more. And stop into their Wake and Bake Nook for a nice selection of casseroles to take home and pop in the oven. A great solution for those busy nights. And then, that's not enough. Carmen and the crew have the Cracker Jack Sport Bar and Grill available to you on the west end of the Tumbleweed 7 days a week from 5 until 7, and later on Broken Bow activity nights when there's sports going on. Carmen says the grill is on until she walks out the door. Nightly food specials, delicious sports bar food, all available, and that, of course, is at Cracker Jack's, and drinks await. Tumbleweeds, Cracker Jack Sports Bar and Grill, and, of course, axe kickers there with that, so you can eat and have some fun and play some pool. And it's a sports bar after all.
Well, spring is officially here. It says so on the calendar. And so they're going to say hello spring out on Myers Road this weekend with a special craft fair. It'll be held Saturday from 9 to 6, also Sunday from 1 until 6. And here's a list of the vendors who are scheduled to be there. We'll start with Gracie Olchen with Spring Photo Minis. Now, you must book a 15-minute time slot for this, so text 870-3654, 308-870-3654 for any questions about Spring Photo Minis. Also scheduled to be there, Caitlin Gale Kemp with Mary Kay, Kim Wheeling with Tastefully Simple, Paisley Olchen with Paisley's Pies, Ginger Spano with Gigi's Goodies. Holly Bumgarner will be there as your Pampered Chef representative. Maddie Bumgarner with Melaleuca. Alice Conley, Sensi with Alice. And Triple Bay Bakery with Michaela Schweitzer, as well as Annie M's Crafts with Annie Ritter. Those are the ones scheduled to be there for the first annual Hello Spring Craft Fair, being held this weekend, Saturday 9 to 6 and Sunday 1 to 6. You'll find it at 1701 Myers Road, Broken Bow.
We'll be back with Jason Isbell and the 400 unit. First, these words.
Designed with pride, sold with integrity. That's Palmer Monument in Broken Bow. Their staff is trained to assist you in the decision-making process. You'll know you're getting a result built from the very best workmanship and the highest quality of materials at Palmer Monument, Broken Bow.
Varney Pharmacy would love to see you soon. Make sure to check out the Naked Bee Orange Blossom Honey Head to Toe Duo, a package of hand and body lotion and hair and body mist. Naked Bee is pH balanced. Naked Bee is hypoallergenic. Naked Bee is paraben free. Naked Bee is gluten free. Naked Bee is free of dyes or pigments. Naked Bee has no mineral oils. Naked Bee is cruelty free. Your friends at Varney Pharmacy know you'll love Naked Bee. All the good stuff, none of the bad stuff. Varney Pharmacy, Broken Bow.
I'm Peyton Hunke with Gothenburg Health. We're committed to your long-term health. Did you know that Nebraska ranks higher than the national average for colon cancer, but is ranked 36 in screening rate? A colonoscopy can detect early signs of colon cancer, giving you peace of mind and nearly a 90% survival rate. Talk to your provider today about scheduling your colonoscopy with Gothenburg Health Surgery Center. Voted best in the region 3 years in a row. For more information, visit gothenburghealth.org. Gothenburg Health, helping people live their best life.
10 past the hour of 9 o'clock. We have Jason Isbell lined up for you in a moment. Did want to take a look at a life survey here this morning, Brent. Finland is the happiest country in the world.
Oh, wonderful to know.
And it's the 8th year in a row they have been the happiest country in the world. And the U.S. dropped.
Uh-oh. What makes Finland so happy?
I'll tell you in a moment.
Okay.
U.S. dropped to its lowest ever, 24th on the list. World Happiness Report ranks 147 countries for their happiness levels. And, by the way, money doesn't always equal happiness. Researchers have found that kindness and social connections are important. Two other reasons listed for America's drop in the ranks are political problems and the increasing number of people in our country who eat alone.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. It's not fun to eat alone.
No.
And it's not fun to, well, you can't talk politics anymore, so if you do, it just polarizes things. That's what they're saying there. But Finland has been the happiest country in the world for 8 years in a row now. And because of that, they have social connections that are important to the country, and they find that kindness and caring for one another makes you happy. Gosh, that is kind of simple, really. We know that. We just aren't as good at it as we once was. Here's Jason Isbell and the 400 unit on the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. The Whiskey Barrel in Broken Bow, Nebraska. Open 7 days a week on Highway 2, right across from Gateway Motors, right between Subway and Vet Care, right near the First Avenue stoplight. Easy to find, and you can pull in. There's 2 lanes you can pull in, and when you get ready to leave, if you want to and you don't want to try to get back onto the highway, you could go out the back and go through alternate routes to get back home. But one thing they do want you to do at Whiskey Barrel is make sure that you don't open up that container if it's an adult beverage until you get to your location, because you're going to get a ticket, and they just don't recommend that, and it's dangerous. Also, be very aware that if you are one of those people that maybe are 25 or 30 and look like you could be 20 or 21, they're going to check your ID. And certainly if you're a youngster out there thinking you're going to be able to go into the Whiskey Barrel and slide by and as a minor purchase alcoholic products, they are going to do their very best to make sure you don't do that. They're very, very, very adamant about that. Something else they're very stern on, and I do mean stern, no glitzy specials. None of this getting you in the door with a special price. They don't believe in that with adult beverages. They just have everyday, regular prices. They make their margin that they can make a living on, and you pay a fair price every day, 7 days a week at the Whiskey Barrel in Broken Bow. While you're there, you'll find friendly folks who are willing to have a little chat with you if they have time. They're just good people, and Stan has a good crew there. He'd love to have you stop in. If you haven't been in for a while, stop in and say hi. All right. Looks like. Do we have everything covered?
I think so. We will remind people that on the sports side of things, coming up later today, the Nebraska women's basketball team will start playing the NCAA women's basketball tournament. Take on Louisville later today. We'll broadcast it for you on KBBN 95.3 FM. Coverage on the Huskers radio network beginning at 4:30. Tip-off for the game around 5. So we'll have that for you later today on KBBN. We also want to let you know that due to NCAA regulations, they do not allow audio streaming of NCAA tournament games. So our audio stream will have to be off on KBBN during the broadcast of the Nebraska women's game, but we'll turn it back on once coverage has completed today.
That's unacceptable.
Well, take it up with the NCAA and let me know how far you get.
That is unacceptable. We're paying college athletes. We've changed all the rules, but we still can't broadcast that.
You can't stream it. Yeah, I hear where you're coming from, my friend. I'm behind your thoughts on this, but as my dad would say, it is what it is.
Oh, Jim.
So, yeah.
Well, I got to say this. It's just times like these that is driving us crazy. No wonder we're number 24.
further than Mills Hardware in Arnold. They have the biggest selection around. Proud to support the men and women of agriculture, Mills Hardware.
Hay season is just around the corner. Time to get your equipment back in shape. The days and nights can be long during haying season. Why make them longer with breakdowns and worn-out equipment? Go see the new and used Vermeer equipment on hand at Power Solutions in Broken Bow and look into financing on new equipment. Parts are also on hand to keep your Vermeer equipment running. Power Solutions just 2 miles east of Broken Bow on Highway 2 or call 308-872-5522.
Brett and Dave back live with you. We have some basketball on the air today.
We do, yeah. The Nebraska women's basketball team will be starting play in the NCAA tournament today against Louisville. Coverage will start at 4:30.
4:30, all right. And if they win, they play again on Saturday?
Play again on Sunday.
Oh, Sunday.
So we'll have Husker sports of some kind on Sunday. The Nebraska baseball team is out west again this weekend, taking on USC. So if there's not a conflict with women's basketball, we'll have Nebraska baseball on the air for you Sunday afternoon, beginning at 1:30 against USC. But if the Nebraska women win today, that could change things on Sunday. We'll keep you updated.
And the Husker men's team is now playing in a brand new tournament.
Yeah, they'll play in the Crown Tournament, which will be played at Las Vegas. Competition there begins on March 31st.
Oh, March 31st. Brand new tournament.
Uh-huh.
Well, we could have a discussion about that, but we're not going to.
Okay.
Let's leave that one alone. Okay. Don't forget about that pancake feed up at Anselmo on Saturday. Starts at 6. Don't forget to drop by the Rise Physical Therapy today at 4 o'clock. They're going to be cutting the ribbon there and having some treats for you. And don't forget to be nice to one another.
Yeah. Let's do our part to make sure that the United States is a friendlier place.
Yes. Maybe we'll move up a couple of spots next year.
Yeah.
It's hard to beat those like Finns and Swedes, though. They just... they're just gentle, easygoing people and take a lot of time off. Have a great weekend, everybody. Here's Cody Jinks taking us out of here.